Hello, everyone. My name is Amelia Lady B. It's Menopause Awareness Month, and if you're new to Instagram or my YouTube, I would like to share my menopause story. My menopause story starts in 2014. At the age of 33, I had to undergo a radical hysterectomy, which included a bilateral oophorectomy, which was the removal of my ovaries due to stage 4 endometriosis. During that procedure, I had several cysts removed and also several fibroids removed as well. After my procedure, I immediately began to feel the symptoms of menopause, and my first symptom was hot flashes. I didn't even know that I was having or experiencing hot flashes until a nurse came into my room and the temperature was set so low, and she said, "It's so cold in here, do you want me to turn the temperature up?" And I said, "No, I'm fine." And so she looked at my chart and she said, "Oh, okay, you had a hysterectomy, so you're starting menopause." And I was like, "Oh wow, it happens immediately like that." So my doctor never told me that the symptoms would occur as quickly. So I had no clue whatsoever what I was really in store for with surgical menopause. When I was released from the hospital a few weeks later, I went home, and really the only symptoms that I had was hot flashes. Those were the only things that I was experiencing at the time. And then about into the year, of like a year later, I started realizing that things were a little bit different. My body was changing as far as like weight. I was gaining a little bit more weight, like it was harder for me to lose. I also did start to experience insomnia, and my skin started to change within as time progressed. So as time progressed, I started having even more symptoms. So symptoms like brain fog. Immediately, mentally, emotionally, it was very taxing for me, not just because it was the procedure itself, but I believe too, of course, with your hormones, with your reduction in estrogen so abruptly, it does affect your mental well being as well. So I did have various bouts of crying, just out of the blue. I felt feeling of like doom, like I was gonna die or like something bad was going to happen to me. And it was just very overwhelming, and I didn't know how to express that to anyone. So I really internalized it and just kept it to myself because I didn't want to sound like I was losing my mind. It was about until like 3 or 4, I would say about 4 years later, I decided to see a therapist because I realized that my mood and my emotions was overtaking me, and it became too much for me. So I started to see a therapist to really talk about what was going on, and it was the best decision that I made for myself, for my mental well-being, for my physical well-being, and also for myself spiritually as well. So fast forward a little bit to 2018, I decided to document or share my experience with surgical menopause, and this is how millennial menopause became. And through this platform, I have met many people who have the same or if not similar experiences to myself. I have come across many women who have reached out asking questions about their procedures that they're getting ready to have, asking questions about endometriosis, signs that I had, and different types of questions. And so I wanted to, as much as I thought that this platform was one thing just for me sharing my experience, but it also is a way for me to create a community. Menopause, however, has really put a toll on me in my energy and just managing everyday life. And I know this is across the board with women who experience menopause naturally. But the thing about women who experience menopause due to it being surgically induced or medically induced, it comes so abruptly. And we experience more symptoms than those women who are going through it naturally because it's just a natural progression. No, most women are in their midlives when they are experiencing menopause. Here you have, I started at 33, I was a young woman, and really thinking about having children and starting young adulthood, and then I had to have this surgery. And this is the case for quite a bit of the population around the world. So women as young as in their 20s and even in their tweens start menopause prematurely, or either due to ovarian failure or cancer, or have to go through surgically induced menopause due to cancer, endometriosis, maybe even fibroids, and any other types of reproductive health challenges. So it's very different. Menopause is different across the board. And I count it, actually, it's weird to say, but it is actually like a blessing for me to be able to share this journey. I am naturally an introvert. I don't really share much about myself, but when it comes to the topics as reproductive health and just women's health in general, I find that this was one of my purposes in life to do, and not only to share my journey but to help women through the process, through coaching, through providing resources and materials, through my videos on YouTube and even on Instagram. And so this topic is dear to my heart because it is something that I am experiencing and will likely experience and go through these changes for the rest of my life. But how is it? The question is, how do we manage? How do we live and thrive in our lives while we are going through these various changes in our bodies? And as many of you may know, or even if you don't know, the research is plentiful but also overwhelming at the same time, because on one hand, people are saying HRT is the way to go, and then others are saying, bioidentical or body identical hormone replacement therapy is safer, and not to do this because of these, because of the cons outweigh the pros, and it can be so overwhelming. What I am trying to do is I read as much research as I possibly can, and to gather whatever resources that will provide those who choose to follow me or coach with me, provide the information in a more layman's terms, and also be able to utilize that research to help to make informed decisions, and also to take control of your doctor's appointments. Many times we go into the doctor's offices and it can be overwhelming because we do choose, we do take the doctor's opinions very highly. I mean, these are the ones who went to school for this. They train for many years to provide the services. But unfortunately, we do come across some physicians who either choose to brush us off, just because they would like to. Being a Black woman, it has been difficult. I have been brushed off many times as if my symptom of pain is just a figment of my imagination, or something that, oh, you'll be fine, it's just cramps, So I've been brushed off many times. There are many women who have been brushed off, gaslit in the doctor's offices just because, and that's not okay. And so my whole motto is, we have the power to hire our doctors and also fire our doctors. Just because, they're a part of our insurance network or whatever, it doesn't mean we have to go to them. We can shop around. It is our right to be able to shop around for the doctor who is there to take care of us, and who listens to us, and who provides informed information about procedures, about treatments, and also those doctors who decided to go along the holistic approach as well. I'm grateful for the position that I'm in, even though it was many years of excruciating pain and so much of just an emotional roller coaster throughout my life. I was built for this arena, as many of us have been. There's many women on social media who are experiencing or sharing their experiences with various conditions, and who have created platforms such as mine, where they are coaching women as well through their experiences. So I'm just grateful to be one of many, and share my menopause, my surgical menopause experience. Sometimes I think we kind of get swept under the way, because people say, oh, well, it's just menopause. It's not just menopause, it's surgical menopause. And we are a special bunch of women. And even though it's not a club that I would want anyone to be a part of, but I will say we are warriors. I am an endo warrior. I'm a surgical menopause warrior, and whatever warrior group you are a part of, I hope that you find your community. I hope that as you watch this video, and as you're watching or following my platforms, that you find comfort and you find information that will allow you to live a blessed, bold, and beautiful life.